thing here, and you are in the right spot. Today's your day. Your Eagles flying with the Eagles. Welcome to the program. My first question, I'm not sure we should be asking Eagles this first question. Can you all see my screen? Can you see where it says High Fee Speaker Secrets, Teresa's smiling face, my smiling face? Is that coming across for you? Are we ready for liftoff here? Just type yes in the question box.
We are getting yes, yes.
All righty. You know,
Yes,
I
yes,
did a
looking
webinar
good.
once. I had a
Yes.
totally gray box of a screen. I said, can you guys see my screen? Everyone says yes, and we did the whole webinar with like a gray box. So I now say you should see the words High Fee Speaker. High Fee Speaker Secrets. All right. So let's talk about who this is for today. This is for you if you want to become a better entrepreneur of your expertise. What that means is your 5 figures going to 6. Your 6 figures going to multi-6. Your multi-6 going to 7. We got people on here who are 7 looking to multi-7 or 8. So again, you're in the right place. Wherever you happen to be on that ladder, this is what we do. 5 to 6, 6 to multi-6, multi-6 to 7, 7 to multi-7, you get the deal. Speakers, authors, coaches, consultants, these are what I consider entrepreneurs of your expertise. Trainers, thought-leading entrepreneurs, and professional service providers. If you use your expertise, knowledge, or wisdom to create unique breakthroughs for your clients and audiences, this is for you. Now, here is our agenda. Here's what we're going to tackle. How to turn your expertise into an additional, and some of you guys are already way past this, so I'm talking about additional incremental on top of what you're doing. Let's add another 6 figures. Let's add another $250,000 to what you're doing, an additional 10K to 20K per month of speaking-driven revenue. For some of you that are more the beginning end of that spectrum, that may seem completely out of reach and completely ridiculous to you. Teresa and I are here to tell you it's not. And we're going to show you. We're going to show you the very clear path and the plan to get that revenue goal dialed in, and then to get the action steps in accordance with that plan so you can start to make it happen. How to create, market, and monetize other profit centers built around expertise that you already have. How to command premium fees. This kills me. This is, again, going back to Eagles fly with Eagles, right? Eagles don't swim with ducks. Eagles don't hang out with the pigeons. Eagles don't have that $500. It's $1,000. Bring me into your meeting. I'm awesome. We don't play with those people, right? So immediately, maybe you've already stopped, which is great, or you're about to stop selling your keynotes, seminars, and trainings for anything less than $3,500 and move very quickly to a minimum number that sounds more like $4,500, $5,500, $7,500. And we're going to share some success stories with way bigger numbers than this. Way bigger numbers. I can still, Steve Shapiro's looking at these numbers going, man, that's pocket change. I got that in my pocket right now. I'm buying soda pop. I'm buying soda pop with that kind of money. So that's fine. Steve, just hang out. It's going to get better. How to target and connect with high probability prospects, gain their trust, and sell your services more easily and more often, and at those premium fees. How to do all of this without the craziness, the overwhelm, the burnout, the wheel spinning, the distractions, the cold calling, the social media nonsense, all the marketing monkey work that you absolutely hate, and that's not serving you, and that doesn't work even if you were doing it right. Let me repeat that. It wouldn't work even if you're doing it right. So here's my promise to you. Teresa and I are going to walk through a step-by-step strategy to take you to a reliable extra 10 to 20K per month of speaking-driven income, no matter where you're starting. There is nothing for sale on this webinar. You can relax, you can kick back, you can unclench your fist now. I would close my door. I would turn off the phone. I would close all your other tabs, get out of email, get out of Facebook, turn off the dinging and beeping and booping. Pay close attention to what we're teaching and training today. Take great notes, because I want you to be able to apply these strategies immediately. And then stick around till the end of the webinar. I've got some pretty cool gifts for you. Some of these are new, some of these are old. If you've been on a previous webinar, you may have seen one or two of them, but I got some new things for you. Always useful, always handy. So let's just do a reality check. Does this sound like you? Do you have trouble getting clients and don't know how to do it consistently? So you kind of have this feeling of maybe you're getting lucky. Like you hit one and you hit another one, things are kind of coming out of the blue, but there's no consistent process. There's no consistent method where you've got a predictable flow of leads and clients and cash. Do you suffer from the feast or famine revenue roller coaster because of that, where sell the work, do the work, sell the work, do the work, sell the work, do the work? Teresa and I know this very well. This is where we came from. This is where Teresa came from. It's where I came from. It's where we all come from. And it's a scary, scary place to be. Do you have great content and get great results for your clients, but you're just lost in a sea of noise? You don't stand out. You feel like the best kept secret in your industry, in your niche. It's very frustrating. Do you secretly know that your work is worth a lot more than what you're charging, but you're afraid that if you raise your fees, no one will pay them? And I'm not talking about raise your fees from $4,000 to $6,000. I'm talking 6 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 18, 18 to 25, wherever you are, at whatever level you're playing this game, you're going to hit that ceiling of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Self-worth is going to kick in, self-esteem is going to kick in, and you are going to have a problem. You're going to have stagnating fees, stagnating income, and stagnating business. So you don't want that. Do you start out every month wondering where your next clients and prospects are coming from? And are you just working way too hard for not enough money and just not sure how to fix it? If any of those apply to you, welcome to the party. We are going to work through all of it. Now, all of that combined leads to hitting these guys. I mentioned the ceiling. This is the secret club. This is the club where they're not going to allow you in. These are the bouncers that say, hey, there's a secret club of highly paid speakers and experts and consultants, and you know what? You're not getting in. Why? Because you haven't unlocked the code. You don't know the combination. You don't know the secret password. You don't have the magic beans or the silver bullets. Somehow, the rainbow unicorns didn't end up sprinkling fairy dust on you, and you can't figure it out. Even though apparently, inside of this high-fee, high-paid speakers club, there's a ton of people, just not you. Just not you. So, does anyone feel that way? Type in secret club. If you've ever felt this, and I know I felt it, type in the word secret club in the question box. And let's see who's in the secret club with me and Teresa. Teresa, who's in there?
Emily's in there. Betty's in there. Kelly's in there. Tom and Tammy, the T's have got it in there. Peter, Vinny, Nancy Summers was very early on her yeses earlier. Sheena's in that club, feeling like they're just not, and she's in Scotland, by the way. And Mark Dresser, or excuse me, Mark Dusauer. I probably am pronouncing that name wrong.
Luckily, it's not just you and me. This, we're not sitting here on the curb by ourselves. It's great.
It's not a very fun club to be a part of, though. So.
Well, no, you're right. You're right. And again, remember, we're not in the club. We're sitting on the curb because they're not going to let us in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So here's the deal. The real problem. Here's why we're all sitting on the curb: cold, hungry, lonely, sad. You don't know the secrets. And what most other speaker gurus teach is dead wrong, completely outdated, and it will make you broke. So you need a specific roadmap, a compass, a GPS. That's what we're going to give you today. You need a reliable, repeatable system, not random tactics. So Dean knows this. Frank knows this. Steve knows this. We all know that random activity leads to random results. So if you've been around the block even for a few months in this business, you know what I'm talking about with that. Random activity leads to random results. Now, once you know the secret, once you know the secret combination, secret password to that club, you're going to get hired more consistently. You'll be able to get more gigs at higher fees. You'll be seen as a true expert. You'll be able to speak more and earn more. You can generate new business easily by turning speaking into clients for the other things that you do. You will realize that there was never a secret club. It was a figment of our imagination. And you will push through to a six-figure, multi-six-figure, seven-figure, multi-seven-figure, whatever that next level looks like for you, faster than you ever thought possible. And you will do all of this while tapping into the joy that you first had when you started your speaking-driven business. Because Teresa, you know what's funny? And we talk about this with our clients all the time. You didn't start this business to struggle. You didn't start this business to be undercharging, under-earning, feeling frustrated, pissed off, angry, and sad that you're not getting the clients, you're not getting the gigs, you're not getting the leads, you're not getting the projects, you're not getting the fees that you know you deserve. You didn't start for that reason. You started so you could work with great clients, do work that you love, and earn what you deserve. And that's the ship that we're going to turn around for you right now. So here's the one thing you need to know. These 5 secrets that we're about to hop into right here, right now, that are going to unlock an additional 100, 200, even 300K of revenue as an expert who speaks professionally. We're going to walk you through exactly how to make those changes and how to reveal those secrets and implement those secrets. For those of you that don't know who I am, first of all, if you don't know who I am, I'm not sure why you're here, because obviously you got sucked into some email vortex or who knows why, but let me review this on one slide and no more. So I am the top marketing mentor for speakers, authors, coaches, and consultants who want to do a better job with their marketing, be more strategic, get more clients, make more money, have more fun. I myself am a $10,000 marketing speaker. I'm a certified speaking professional. So I've earned the CSP designation, which is the highest earned designation from the National Speakers Association. Only about 10 to 12% of speakers worldwide have that designation. I spent a year on the other side of the desk as a conference producer and meeting planner myself, where I had the privilege and the responsibility of hiring over 160 speakers, where I was responsible for the success of those speakers and those events. And I have over 500 successful clients and graduates of the Speaker Profit Formula program who are doing what you want to do, which is the scaling, the multiplying, etc. And I myself have been running a multiple 6-figure business for every year since 2009. And without bragging, just full disclosure, this is the year that we're going to hit 7. And I wouldn't be surprised if 2018 we hit multi-7. So I share that with you, none of that to brag, but to show you that it's about baby steps. It's about you have to walk before you run, before you fly, before you go supersonic. And again, we're here with the runners and the flyers. We're here with the eagles who are soaring. We're not here with the ducks and the chicks and the ducks and the bunnies and the woo-woo, magic rainbow unicorns who are telling you all the myths and all the, millionaire speaker this, millionaire speaker, all the hype, all the nonsense, all that crap that we hate. So this is purely reality-based marketing, sales, and business development. So let's debunk the first myth. Are these secrets? You know what? They're not. There are 5 specific areas where you need to start acting differently to take your business to that extra 10 to 20K per month or more, stop scrambling, and build a long-term high profit and fun business. And I'm going to walk you through them starting right now. So secret number 1, stop selling your speech. And right here, Teresa, people are listening to this, the record's kind of scratching, the record needle scratching across the record going, but wait a minute, I wake up every day and I was trained and coached and I went to NSA and they say, keep selling your speech, selling your speech, sell the speech, sell the speech. Wrong. Stop selling your speech. Here's 5 new rules for experts who speak. And these are just meant to be thought starters, mind sparks, spark plugs for the way that you're going to reconfigure your speaking-driven business. You have to think beyond the keynote. You don't want to be asked, but think beyond the keynote, let's talk about that for a quick second. Think beyond the keynote means the one-way data dump is over. You need to have more experiential, more interactive, more engaging, almost like consulting from the stage. Experiential, bring in masterminding, bring in audience-to-audience connection. The one-way data dump keynote is dead. It's dead, it's never coming back, and you will never make premium fees doing that old model. Number 2, you don't want to be asked back. And we're going to dig into that here a little bit later about how that works. You don't want to be asked back, you want to be asked what's next. Number 3, and we're going to dig into this in a moment as well, speaker is a skill set, not a job description. I want you to really write that on a Post-it note, write that on a bumper sticker, stick that on your forehead, do whatever you need to do to internalize the reality of that, because there are so many other ways to monetize your expertise. It's not about hop on a plane, get up on a stage, speak, back to the airport, back on the plane, fly home, game over. If that's all you're doing, you're probably monetizing maybe 20 to 30% of what you could be doing, and you're leaving 70 to 80% on the table. Number 4 is think about training. Think really hard about training. Training is the number one mode of delivery by volume. There is way more training in this country and around the world, actually, but certainly in the US and Canada, way more training than speaking, way more training than consulting, way more training than anything else. So what can you do in terms of training? Online training, workshops, strategic work sessions, retreats, public events, whatever that training mode is, right? Adding training to your speaking can easily double your business within 90 days. And we'll talk about some implementations of that and some success stories around that. And then the golden triangle. The golden triangle business model, let's talk about that now. So when I say speaker is a skill set, not a job description, speaking is the top of the triangle. So you guys might have heard me talk about this before. I almost always talk about this in every masterclass because it's so vitally important that people understand this model. Speaking builds awareness. Once you've built once you've built awareness with an audience, they now know they have a problem. They know they've got shortfalls, gaps, problems, challenges, competencies they're missing, skills they're lacking. It's a problem. Now you want to go to a training solution because training is where skills transfer happens. Before the training, the competencies are not there. The capabilities are not there. After the training, they are. So now we've installed some permanent skills and capabilities into that audience. For real behavior change to happen, you now need to go to the third leg of the golden triangle, which is a longer term consulting and coaching relationship, because that's where behavior change lives. And then you can just keep going around and around and around. Different department, different topic, different business unit, different geography. If they love you in the central region, they'll want to have the speech in the western division and the eastern division. And then you can keep going around. It does not take a high number of clients to start generating multiple six figures from this model, simply keeping going around the golden triangle and replicating and multiplying and amplifying it. So based on what I just shared, given your expertise, given your topic, given your business model, does that triangle make sense? If it does, type in the word triangle. I'd love to see how many folks are triangulating here. Let me go back and show you the diagram here. Type in the word triangle in the question box. If this makes sense to you, this is something that you're already doing or want to do more of, or you just wish you can kind of figure out how to do this, but basically it fits. It fits your business, it fits your topic, it fits what your audience is hungry to learn or do or become. In other words, would this work for you? If yes to any of those questions, type in the word triangle. And Teresa, how many triangular folks do we have? Who's in there? Let me actually open it up also and have a look.
Says Dr. William Clay says yes, triangle. We have a Victor says T. We've got Gary triangle, Larkin triangle.
Yeah.
Tom triangle.
Fantastic. And
Sandra Kavanaugh says absolutely.
A whole bunch of these were kind of stuck, it looks like, so they kind of all came in at once. So Sheena, Betty, Mark, John, Jim, Dean, Tammy, Sandra, Tom. I think William's where you picked it up. Jose, Nancy, Xander. Hey, Xander's here also. Fantastic. Sarah, George, Charlie Timmons, Vinny, Tom, Gabby, Nancy, Larkin, Gary, Sheena. Yeah, okay. So Sandra says absolutely triangle. Absolutely triangle. Mary says yes, but I have it reversed. So we can talk about that. Sheena says triangle also works as a trainer, so it also makes sense. Yeah, you know what? So here's the deal. That's such a great point, Sheena. I'm so glad you said this. Depending on what your business looks like now, right? I put speaking at the top of the triangle. What's the beauty of a triangle? You can tip it over onto any of the three sides, different base, different point. So if you're doing primarily training, then you want to add speaking and consulting. You're doing primarily consulting or coaching, you want to add speaking and training. So it doesn't matter where you start on the triangle. Typically, the flow is speaking is the least invasive intervention. Then we go to training, is the second most effective. That's the next step. And then consulting and coaching is the deepest level of this. But if you're already doing level 3, oh man, you want to add level 1 and level 2, you'll knock it out of the park and you'll make a ton more money. Because speaking and training are the feeder mechanisms for the consulting and vice versa, right? That's why the arrows are going around and around. They all feed into each other. They all feed into each other. Great point, guys. Great point. So get this wrong and you'll never get off that gig to gig hamster wheel. Some of the people on this call, I'm not going to name names, but we've already talked and you know what I'm talking about. You're making nice money, but you're a slave to your business. Gig to gig hamster wheel, or you'll be in low demand and a commodity because you're a one trick pony and you're just going from gig to gig, speech to speech, and that's all that they think that you do. Get this right, however, and you will go deeper, further, faster with each client and monetize a variety of delivery modes as the high demand, high fee expert. So let's talk about one of our favorite clients, Dr. Mike Thompson, who came to work with us, already very successful, 30 years in the business, had done some business speaking, mostly education. That's why you see the big yellow school bus there. But in his own words, he was hunting wabbits. He was doing the gig to gig to gig to gig. Now, again, in the education market, it was $1,500 fee, $2,500 fee. It was a hard, long, lonely road to keep hunting wabbits. So let's fast forward to where Mike ended up, right? Because shift number 1 is stop selling the speech. I just closed one sponsor for $75,000 a year for 3 years. So that's $225,000. I have another one on the line for a $50,000 deal. I can't say enough about David personally, and his mentoring program made all the difference. I have stopped hunting wabbits, and I'm finally building a real business around my speaking. And that's Dr. Mike Thompson. So the power of this, once you start to get out of the mindset of sell the gig, sell the gig, sell the gig, hunt the wabbit, sell the speech, and you slow down and you zoom out, a whole bunch of new high profit modes and methods of delivering your expertise start to become visible to you, and you can start to pursue those. And obviously, with our help, Mike is making this happen right here, right now. So, secret number 2 is use the 7 hidden buying triggers. So I mentioned that I spent a year as a meeting planner and a conference producer. I sat in the buyer's chair. I've also interviewed a lot of buyers. What buyers really want? This is our typical meeting planner, conference producer. Very busy, very scattered, doesn't have a lot of time, doesn't have a lot of attention, doesn't have a lot of bandwidth. They want you to be easy to buy. The 7 critical buying criteria is you need to show up in their world presenting and proving that you've got, number 1, in-depth expertise. Number 2, that your in-depth expertise is not from 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. It's up to the minute, torn from the headlines, current content. Number 3, immediately relevant. No theory, no fluff, no bull, no woo-woo nonsense. Immediately relevant to their audience, immediately relevant to their industry, immediately relevant to their theme, and immediately actionable and usable when their audience leaves the building. Easy to work with. No prima donnas, don't be a pain in the butt. Interaction and experiential. Talked about that a second ago with the death of the one-way data dump keynote. 6, real world experience. The right names to drop, the right stories to tell to show that you've been in the trenches. And this isn't just theory. You didn't just read a whole bunch of books and now you're showing up with some book learning, but you've got the scars and you've got the real world proven experience that backs up what you're teaching and preaching. And then number 7 is be a real human being. Be authentic, be approachable. Don't keep yourself on the pedestal, right? Show your vulnerabilities, show your mistakes, share your background, share your history. When I do other master classes and I spend a little bit more time on my background, I didn't make a big deal of it here with you guys today. I said, listen, first 3 years in my business, I was broke. I was underwater. I was $40,000 in credit card debt. So believe me, guys, I didn't have this all figured out on day one either. 2002, 2003, 2004, getting into 2005 and 6, I had a real hard time getting my hands around what the hell I was doing. Steve Shapiro was there. He knows. He's like nodding his head going, uh-huh, oh yeah, dude, you were clueless. Steve was already very successful. I was like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's been a journey, folks. It's been a journey. Make that part of your message. Make that part of your authentic and approachable persona, because if they think you have it figured out already from day one, your likability goes down and your relatability goes down and your approachability goes down. So what's your takeaway from this? What's your actual takeaway? Make a document. Make a document that says top 7 reasons to hire Steve, top 7 reasons to hire Susan, top 7 reasons to hire Jill, top 7 reasons to hire Frank. What are your 7? Use mine. Steal mine. These are this is the universal themes I hear over and over and over again. From meeting planners, conference producers, association executives, and corporate executives who hire speakers. I've done the research for you. Take this research. It's these 7 things: expertise, currency, relevance, easy to work with, interaction, experience, and authenticity. Screenshot this puppy, use it, make your document. We want to see it. Teresa, we want to see it, or we don't want to see it?
We totally want to see it.
We want to see it. We don't want this to be another one of these webinars where it's like, yeah, that's nice, okay. And then you go back and you get sucked into the tsunami of your crazy business again. Take this action step. Make your top 7 reasons to hire Steve, Jane, Bill, Susan, Frank. I want you to give me a paragraph on each of these. Talk about your expertise. Talk about your currency. Talk about your relevance. My email is david@doitmarketing.com. I'm kind of mean. Teresa's really nice. Her email is teresa@doitmarketing.com. That's Teresa with a TH. Teresa@doitmarketing.com. David@doitmarketing.com. We're drop dead serious. We're not kidding, guys. We're not kidding.
That's right.
If you're committed, give me 1 paragraph on your expertise, 1 paragraph on your currency, on your relevance, on why and how you're easy to work with, on your interactivity that's in your program, on your real world experience, and on your authenticity and vulnerability. Right? Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Let's see how you do. If you get this wrong, if you screw this up, you'll be stuck trying to peddle your programs to people who undervalue what you do or won't hire you at all. Get this right, and you will easily connect with the right buyers using the right language to capture their attention, engage with you, and who will gladly pay for your value. So, truth-telling time, guys, and we're not going to call out names. I just want to see numbers. How much money have you left on the table by not charging enough or by caving on price? Because you don't have this secret dialed in. You're going to show up as just the same-o, lame-o speaker. You're just going to be showing up and throwing up, and you're going to be a victim of downward price pressure. So if you had this dialed in, let's just go back here. Right? This is distinction. This is differentiation. This is your unique thumbprint DNA of what makes you smarter, better, cooler, faster than any other competing resource or competing speaker. If you have this, that negative price pressure immediately gets reduced. In some cases, it goes away altogether. So let me ask you again. By not articulating and distinguishing your thought leadership platform as a speaker, as a consultant, as a coach, how much money do you think that you might have left on the table by caving on price or not charging enough in the first place? And again, we're going to keep this one anonymous. It's like underpriced, underpaid, anonymous. and we're just going to kind of see what some of these numbers look like. So two different people put $500,000.
I see that.
500,000, 500,000, too much, way too much, OMG, don't want to think about it, way, way, way too much, painful. Yes, lots and lots of dollar signs. Yes,
A
yes,
million.
yes.
A million. Ugh, too much. I have no idea. 100,000 or more.
So this
At
whole
least
concept of articulation and distinction, right? This is words. And I'm not going to disappoint anybody or make anybody mad, I hope. The difference using the wrong words and the right words is costing you this kind of money. The wrong words, the right words, this is about positioning, this is about messaging, this is about articulation and distinction, as I just said. Huge, huge. Is it easy to fix? Sure. Is it easy to change your words? Absolutely. You know, Teresa and I change words all the time. I mean, this is what we do, is re-message, repackage, re-articulate, re-distinguish. You may have this anywhere from 0 to doing okay. And we take people from 0 to hero and from average to awesome with this messaging, and it makes a world of difference. Let me demonstrate. So when I say it's all about words, Lisa Hain came through our program, and she says, within my first 2 weeks in the program, I used your material to close a speaking engagement for $5,000. It's not easy for me to express my value. That's one of the reasons I bought the program. I used your exact coaching and tools to sway the client to choose me when their board voted on a keynote speaker today. I knew I needed help with sealing the deal. Once I had a client on the line, I now know how to do this with every prospect going forward. Let me just land on that final line for you. I want to ask you a question. What's the feeling that you get in your chest, in your body right now, when I say, imagine if you knew how to do this with every prospect going forward? It was no longer a mystery. The words, the articulation, the distinction, the what to say and how to say it, what to do and how to do it, to get more yeses, to get more checks in the door. If that was a permanent capability and competency, right? We talked about the golden triangle. This is in corner number 2, skills training, capabilities transfer, competency transfer. I know that when I unlock this, and even every time I teach it and share it in our mentoring program, there is an amazing physical shift. It's like this weight has been lifted from the center of your chest, and you now feel so much better about marketing and prospecting and selling your speaking-driven services. So I want you to just sit with that for half a second. I now know how to do this with every prospect going forward. Incredibly powerful, guys, incredibly powerful. So secret number 3 is replace stupid marketing tricks with MMA. MMA is my favorite activity. MMA is Teresa's favorite activity. We love MMA. MMA is not mixed martial arts. MMA is money-making activity. Money-making activity. So here's the old way. Here's what people used to tell speakers and experts, and here's what a lot of people are still telling. Still telling speakers, experts, consultants, coaches. You know what you need to do? It's real simple. You have to blog, tweet, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, networking, trade shows, media, PR, referrals, postcards, send a ton of postcards. Oh my God, you're not cold calling? What's wrong with you? Oh my gosh, free speaking. Speak for free as much as you possibly can. Be on every webinar, present webinars. Oh, you have to have a whole big YouTube channel, shoot videos all day, every day, write a ton of articles. You need to have a book, not just one book, probably 3 books, probably a new book every 2 years. Oh, you have to host a podcast. You're totally missing out if you're on iTunes, podcast. Oh, you have to do interviews. Oh, by the way, your website needs search engine optimization. You're not using text marketing, text, mobile, SMS messaging. Oh my God. Don't forget to build your email list. You got to be on radio. You got to be on TV. Create infographics, write a ton of ebooks. Oh, don't forget to spend money on Facebook ads. Write a whole 17-part video series. You have to be on Facebook Live every single day with the live streaming. Participate in online groups. Just shoot me now. Just shoot me now. If this sounds crazy to you, and this is the advice, by the way, that people are still getting. If this sounds crazy to you, please type in the word crazy. Type in the word crazy in the question box. That you have to do everything all the time, in all channels, in all methods, in all media. It sounds crazy to me. Teresa, this sound crazy to you? Teresa's like doing her nails. We're not sure what she's doing. She's getting a drink. Well, I will tell you, it sounds crazy to Teresa because we don't coach our clients to do any of this crap. We just don't. You know what we focus on? MMA. Money. None of these things are the right kind of money-making activity. So here's the smart way. The smart way is to choose a few proven marketing tactics that you personally find easy, effortless, and enjoyable. Play only to your strengths and commit to one or two of these main dishes, not 10. Right? Out of the marketing buffet, there's like 10 main dishes, 10 side dishes, 10 vegetables, 10 desserts. People walk up to that buffet table and they eat everything, and now they wonder why they're feeling sick. Well, you're not supposed to eat everything on the buffet table, guys. You're supposed to choose one or two things and commit to them like a crazy person. Commit to them like a crazy person. Drop everything else. That's right, you heard it here. Circle this day on your calendar. Mark the time. This is the day, this is the moment, this is the hour that I officially gave you permission to stop doing all the rest of that monkey work that is not generating leads, not generating sales conversations, not getting you booked, and not bringing checks in the door. Please, please drop everything else. There's 4 magic words. If you're not crazy about sales or marketing, I'm going to replace those with 2 other words. Offer value and invite engagement. So that does not mean that you're pushy or salesy or needy or desperate. What that means is you're showing up on an economic buyer's radar as a partner, not a peddler, as a trusted advisor, and not as someone who's peddling and pushing speeches and programs and coaching and whatever. So you get this wrong, and you will keep doing marketing that you find exhausting, depressing, and ineffective. If you get this right, you will start to build relationships, gain prospects' trust, and have more and better sales conversations on a daily basis that end up in a yes. So let's talk about Tony Lucero, who came through our program. He says, hey guys, wanted to give you an update. Long story short, I have picked up 2 coaching clients totaling $32,400, and I'm on retainer for 90 days at $10,000 per month with the company. Not bad. The reason I'm telling you this is not to boast, as many of you are much better than I. However, I was doing the activity that David outlines and focus on what I wanted to attract in my business that allowed the doors to be opened. Stay the course, do the work, know your target market. I believe in you all. Get activated. And then down below, I say, Tony, love, love, love these results, energy, and momentum. Go, Tony. And then he says at the bottom, your program, David, made this possible. So, what program, you ask? Let me pull the curtain back for a minute. What are we doing today, guys? We're on a webinar. Why are you here? Because you wanted to be here. Because you've got some serious gaps in your business. Things are not going 100% the way you want. You could be bringing in 10 grand a month or 100 grand a month or somewhere higher or lower than that, but it's not going 100% the way you want. Now, are you guys doing enough of what I'm doing right here, right now? Are you doing enough of these type of value-first marketing activities in your business to attract the people that you want to work with? And again, we work with eagles. We work with A players. You mentioned this before we started the recording, right? Eagles fly with eagles. Rock stars hang out with rock stars. So it's important when you're doing value-first marketing that there's always a next step that someone can take. So don't leave people hanging with great content and think that's enough. It's not. And it's why some of your businesses might be struggling right now. So here's your next step. Write this down. Teresa. Teresa's your next step. And then write down this URL. doitmarketing.com/apply. If you're the kind of person who's impatient, You already know that you want my help to fix some of these problems in your speaking driven business. You want to go from 5 figures to 6, or 6 figures to multiple 6, or even multiple 6 to 7, multi 7. That's where you can book a call and let's talk about what you need to fix, upgrade, and improve. And it's doitmarketing.com/apply. And we're going to get back to that towards the end. I know people are busy. People might have to run. People already know that you want some help with this and you're looking at working with me. I want to give you that opportunity. So that's where to go to start that process. doitmarketing.com/apply. So, quick recap of where we are at this point. We know that we need to stop selling speeches. We need to use the 7 hidden buying triggers for your articulation and distinction. And we need to replace stupid marketing tricks with money-making activity. Now let's look at how to get super focused, zero in on the exact buyers that you want, and how to set and get premium fees. So secret number 4, there is no forest. It's all about the trees. It's all about the trees. All about the trees. So forests don't buy. Trees buy. So what does that mean? You want to make good, big decisions, right? Focus on connecting with the right people in the right way for the right reason to help them. Here's what forests and trees mean. Forests mean that people come to work with me and Teresa, and they say, well, I want to work in the banking industry. I want to work in the technology industry. I want to work in the manufacturing industry. There is no industry, guys. You cannot sell something to the manufacturing industry. You cannot sell something to the technology industry. You cannot sell something to the accounting industry. Industries don't buy. People buy. Individual executives, association executives, corporate leaders, CEOs, individual human beings with names and faces and email addresses and LinkedIn accounts. Trees do the buying. So you need to focus, after you've made those good big decisions, focus on connecting with the right people in the right way for the right reason to help them. Not to pitch them, but to help them. And here's 3 super specific steps that you need. Number 1, decide. Decide these 2 questions and everything in your business becomes easy. Number 1, who do you serve? And number 2, what problems do you solve? These 2 answers to these 2 questions will help you laser focus everything that you do, everything that you say, and everything that you sell. It is really hugely important that you get out of being stuck, you get out of the crossroads, and you make a big, bold, good, strong decision to unlock your momentum. Because here's the deal, guys. It's momentum that creates results. People think that, strategy creates results. Nope. They think action creates results. Nope. Strategy guides consistent action. Consistent action guides momentum. Consistent momentum gets you results. You can write that one down too. But it all starts with being clear, crystal clear on what that decision is. Second step, target. Develop a finite, written, workable list of high probability prospects. I mean specific corporations, associations, and groups, and specific people inside those groups that you know can hire you. Know your target better than they know themselves. What does that mean? Research. Do Google searches. Look at industry publications. Read their annual report. Look at their industry analysts. Read the blogs. Watch the videos. Immerse yourself in their biggest, hairiest problems, challenges, heartaches, headaches, so that you can start speaking prospect language about prospect problems. You show up as a generic speaker, coach, consultant, no one's going to give you the time of day. Very hard to make a connection that way. The third step is to connect. Connect with those people. Powerful, proactive, peer-to-peer outreach as an authority. Strategic introductions from people that you already know. Generating referrals, shared groups, interviewing strategies. You can interview your prospects, people that you want to do business with. The lowest barrier where all the shields come down and their sales radar gets flipped to the off position is when you interview them about their biggest, hairiest obstacles, goals, challenges, and accomplishments and vision for doing better in the exact problem areas where you are brilliant at solving those problems. It builds rapport, it builds relationship, it builds trust, and it builds connection. So fish where the fish are, and you'll never go hungry again. Now, get this wrong, and you will keep doing that spray and pray marketing that's all over the map, rarely generates good clients or good fees. Get this right, and you will intentionally befriend the exact decision makers who will gladly hire a helpful authority, and they will repeat, they will refer, they will recommend. So Susan Robertson, fabulous success story, came through our program. This is an actual Facebook message exchange that you're seeing here. We were talking, and I was in the car with another group that I'm leading, and I said, so this is a confirmed gig. How much are they paying? She comes back with $7,500. And she was a very successful consultant, but had not yet been booking herself at this level of fee. So it's like, well, how does this work? What do I do? The dog caught the car. Now what? And so I said, it's 50% deposit to hold the date and then balance due 7 or 14 days before the program. Later, about 2 weeks later, she says, quick good news to share. Just got another speaking gig I feel I would have never gotten if I weren't in your program. It's chock full of prime prospects for me. I would have done it for free, but instead I'm getting $3,500 plus full-length HD video, plus personal introductions to people I target from their list, plus video testimonials. That's a huge win for me for something I would have normally done for free and probably wouldn't even thought to try to get regardless. And I happen to be in the car at an event, and Teresa was here with me, so my reply that you see down at the bottom here, totally fantastic. Huge congrats from me and Teresa. I just handed her the phone to show her your message. So this is what I'm talking about, zero to hero, right? Having a consulting business model, getting into this golden triangle and this mentoring program with us from a speaking revenue stream of zero to $11,000 in less than 6 weeks. $7,500 gig, booked, paid, locked and loaded. $3,500 gig, booked, locked and loaded. $11,000 in 6 weeks coming through the program, implementing the strategies that Teresa and I are teaching. Secret number 5 is to stop charging like an amateur. And these numbers I'm going to share with you are relative numbers. And again, we work with people at the $3,000 level. We work at people at the $30,000 level. I'm assuming most of you are closer to that 3, 4, 5, 7, although we do have some $30,000 people on this webinar right now. And I love you guys, and you know who you are. So, real world market rate fees. There are only 2 reasons that you're not doing this. There's only 2, and I don't care what level you are. You could be 3 and you should be at 7. You could be at 30 and you should be 50. But real world market rate fees for who you are and where you're at, there's only 2 reasons why you're not earning what you deserve. Number 1, either you think your expertise isn't worth it, and you're wrong, by the way, you're wrong, or you think it is worth it, but you believe that if you charge more, no one will pay it. No one will hire you. So let's talk about fees and money, especially for folks that are at the beginning of their journey. Number 1 piece of advice, stop listening to idiots. How much should I charge as a new speaker? $500, $1,500, less, more, whatever their budget is. Play the prices right. No, that's crazy. So you need to know the 5 levels of fee. And again, I've taught this and I preach this and I put this in almost every masterclass because it's so important. This is from Smart Meetings Magazine in 2014. So this is already outdated. These numbers are already higher, but I'll tell you what it was in 2014. This is going to meeting planners and conference producers and people who hire folks like us. And it's their words, not mine. They say unpaid speaker is mediocre or just starting out. $1,000 to $2,500, you get what you pay for. Ooh, ugly, ouch. $2,500 to $5,000, transition from part-time. They're still thinking of you as a dabbler. They're still thinking of you as a part-timer. They're still thinking of you as an amateur when you present your fees at that level. 5,000 to 10,000, now you're hiring a true professional. According to the meeting planners, not according to me, according to the meeting planners, $10,000 and up, New York Times bestseller, marquee name, celebrity speaker, all of that. This is where you guys need to be. You need to be at level 4 right now, some of you even higher. Some of you are already hired, but you haven't raised your fee in 5 years, and you know who you are. So we need to raise your fee from 15 to 20, from 20 to 27, from 25 to 32, whatever it is. So if you're on the newer end of the spectrum, right? People ask, well, how much for a new speaker? I don't know. How much for a new dentist? How much for a new airline pilot? How much for a new accountant? Right? Answer is the going rate. That root canal costs the same. That root canal costs the same. The airline seat costs the same. That tax return costs the same, whether they've been doing it for 1 month or 20 years. Here's your minimum speaker fee. Minimum. Like, this is your not get out of bed number. This is your not leave the house number. Many of you are twice this, 3 times this, 4 times this. God bless you. That's great. But you need to enforce this standard in your business too. So if you're a $9,000 speaker, but you're taking $4,500 gigs, we need to talk. If you're a $20,000 speaker, but you're taking $8,000 gigs, we got to talk. If you're a $2,000 speaker and you should be charging $4,500, $5,500, or $7,500 like my client Susan, we absolutely have to talk. Because here's what it is. It's not about what you need to earn. Yes, you'll earn more money, of course. It's about what they need to pay to take you seriously. Let me repeat that. It's about what they need to pay to take you seriously. Because if they pay less, they respect you less. If they respect you less, they implement less. If they implement less, they generate less and fewer results. When you charge more, right? When they pay more attention. When they pay more attention, they implement more. When they implement more, they get much better, faster, smarter results. So you are actually worth more as a speaker and as a consultant when you charge more. And you're worth less when you charge less. It doesn't go the other way. It goes based on what they pay. Because perception is reality and pricing is positioning. And you can write those two down. Perception is reality and pricing is positioning. They're not going to respect the nice little $2,000 a day freshly laid off HR lady who comes in and does time management and leadership and presentation skills and this and that and the other thing, as opposed to a $7,000 or $8,000 or $10,000 drop dead absolute expert in their field. We need to present you to the marketplace as a drop dead absolute expert in your field. So what that means is that whatever your level, it's time to stop paying your dues, whatever that means, and start paying your bills. And you can turn this around in a few weeks. No more small potatoes thinking, no more small potatoes doing. Stop treating this like an expensive hobby. Being broke was not part of your initial dream, correct? Being broke was not in your initial game plan for launching your entrepreneurial speaking-driven business. So how much should you be earning at a minimum? I believe that every speaker, every consultant, every coach, and every expert should be earning what I call doctor money. Doctor money is defined as the average salary for a family practitioner. If you go to payscale.com, do the salary research, the average family physician in the United States makes $186,600. There is no reason that every one of you sitting right there in your chair right now, should not be making this money or multiples of this money on a regular basis. So you have to build your revenue model. And that can consist of a lot of things. That can consist of speaking, training, coaching, consulting, licensing, sponsorship, online courses, virtual programs, public seminars. It's endless. I just gave you a quick smattering here, and I gave you kind of a quick menu. So speaking fees anywhere from $4,500 to $7,500 and up. Training, same thing. Coaching, $6,000, $10,000, $12,000 for a 90-day coaching relationship with you. Consulting, easily $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 per month. Per month. Licensing your intellectual property, easily $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 a year to license your intellectual property to a large corporation. Sponsorship, and again, you saw Mike Thompson. Mike Thompson landed a whale. $225,000 3-year deal. Why can't you do that? Well, you can. You can. The question is, what's your revenue model supposed to look like? And it's just basic math. It's the basic math is price times quantity equals total. So let's run through an example. 2 speeches. Let's say your minimum, let me say it again, minimum fee is $4,500. You do that twice a month, that's $9,000 a month, $108,000 a year. Let's say we add a training day. Now we're doing 2 speaking engagements, 1 training date on your calendar. That $4,500 a month times 12 is another $54,000. And you want 1 coaching client to pay you $6,000 for a 90-day relationship, and you want to sell 1 of those a month. So selling 1 of those a month, $6,000 times 12, 72. Let's do the math on that. You're past doctor money. You're past it. And this is very easy to do if you know what you're doing. Very easy to do if you know what you're doing. If everything else, if these other secrets are dialed in, this is easily within reach. If you're already here, imagine the incremental addition. Imagine adding $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 to your $500,000 business. Imagine adding $500,000 to your $1 million business. And again, I say this simply because I'm seeing the names of the folks that are on here. There are people that are stroking 500K, 600, 700, $1 million plus speaking driven entrepreneurs are on this call. If you're not there yet, you can be, you should be. You simply need the structure and the mentoring and the coaching and the accountability to follow the steps, unlock the secrets, implement the actions, and follow through on that momentum, which will generate your results. So here's the magic of this. It's not about let's get you to 234,000. You could reduce this number. You could increase this number. You could add more revenue streams. You could flex this whatever way you want. Let's say you don't like training. So the reason I put training in green, strike out the training. Just do your 2 speeches and your 1 coaching client. You're still at 180, 108,000 plus 72. Now you're at 180,000. If you don't need that 54,000, great. Maybe the 54,000 comes from something else. Maybe the 54,000 comes from sponsorships or an online course or who knows what. Here's the point, guys. The magic isn't in the numbers. The magic is now you know where you're going. Now you know how to get back on track quickly if you're not making the money that you know that you need to make. So this is not theory. This is actual tactical day by day, month by month, week by week practice. Now, if that kind of price times quantity, reality mathematics, if that's 100% real for you, and you can see, let's go back here, you can see how this math would play out in your business, just plug in what's on your menu, plug in your numbers. Does this seem real for you? If it seems real for you, if this seems like we're not just smoking the crack pipe and we're not doing rainbows and unicorns and chicks and ducks and bunnies, please type in the word possible. Type the word possible into the question box. I want to see, maybe it's just me who's hallucinating about this basic math. Maybe this isn't, there's some secret math that's really hard to figure out here.
It is not just you, David. Jennifer says possible. Betty says possible. Mary, possible. Ruth, definitely possible. George, possible. Kelly, possible. Sandra, all capitals, possible. Nancy says yes, possible. Lori, possible. This is possible.
I like possible and probable. Yes, it is possible and probable. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So if you get this wrong, unfortunately, you're going to continue undercharging and under-earning, and the premium clients and prospects that you want will never find you because you're fishing in the wrong pond with the wrong bait, with the wrong boat, and those high premium clients are not there. Get this right, and you will build a high credibility, high fee, expert-based business that clients will confidently hire, rehire, and recommend like crazy. So that's what we want you to do. Secret number 5, client success. John Garrett came through our mentoring program. He says, David's program is easily the best return on investment a recovering CPA could dream of. He was able to sell more speaking engagements to better clients at consistently higher fees to the point of an 85% increase in income from last year. I booked a $5,500 gig within 5 weeks. So again, if you stick to the program will work. Bonus secret. I wanted to do 5, we're doing 6. Invest in mentoring sooner. This is one of the things I wish I had done. I was Mr. Lone Wolf. I was Mr. I can figure it out. I'm going to hit all the brick walls. I'm going to hit all the dead ends. I can make this happening. Listen, guys, everyone should have a mentor. Mentoring brings 2 things for you: new ideas and accountability. So there are new ideas in your head right now that would not have been there if you hadn't made time for this masterclass training. A good mentor will give you great ideas and make sure you act on them. A great mentor will also put together a powerful group of people all working towards similar goals, and that is a force multiplier. In the mentoring groups that Teresa and I run, there are people earning $5,000 a month working right alongside people earning $30,000 and $40,000 and $50,000 a month and more. And because of that, everybody wins. The ideas are cross-pollinating. We're learning from each other. They're all following the path and the plan that's been prescribed in our mentoring, but they are multiplying and they are amplifying each other's learning. So today I promised how to turn your expertise into a $10,000 to $20,000 per month speaking-driven business, and we've done that. Even if that seemed totally ridiculous to you and out of reach when you first logged on. We have a lot of possibility thinkers here, and I applaud you and I agree with you. We talked about how to create, market, and monetize other profit centers built around expertise you already have. That's the golden triangle. That's working your way around the golden triangle. That's things like what Mike Thompson was doing with sponsorship and what Tony Lucero was doing with coaching and consulting programs in addition to the speaking work that he's doing. We talked about how to command premium fees and stop selling your keynotes for peanuts. Get out of small potatoes land, get out of undercharging for your seminars and trainings, and move very quickly, aka right now, to $4,500, $5,500, $6,500, $7,500 like our client and friend Susan Robertson. How to target and connect with high probability prospects, gain their trust, and sell your services more easily and more often. And how to do it without all that monkey work on that big, crazy slide that had the million marketing jobs on it. So no more burnout, no more stupid cold calling, no more marketing monkey work that doesn't generate results and that you hate in the first place. So let's recap. Here's what you need in your toolkit. Stop selling your speech. Use the 7 hidden buying triggers. Replace stupid marketing tricks with MMA. Remember, no forest, all trees. It's all about connecting with individual buyers. Stop charging like an amateur. Bonus was invest in mentoring, and now you have a choice. So you can keep going down the old way where you were an hour ago. Old results, underbooked, underpaid, keep being confused, spinning your wheels, still not earning what you deserve, not reaching the next level of income, can't figure out the password to that secret club that we talked about of all the speakers and experts who seem to be making great money. No guidance, no accountability, no support. It's a hard, lonely road. Or, if you prefer, that can all end today. And Teresa and you and me can put our heads together and diagnose what's really going on. We can find the strategic gaps of where you need some help. We're going to look at how to refocus and reframe and reboot your business so it's back on the right track. We're going to look at what needs to be fixed with your messaging, with your packaging, with your website, with your positioning, with your pricing strategies, with your marketing approaches, with your sales tactics. We're going to fill in what's missing for you to consistently get clients that you love and finally earn what you deserve. If you want that, I mentioned this earlier about 25 minutes ago to the impatient people. I'm mentioning it to all of you now. This is where we want you to book a call. If you want to look at all of this, look what needs to be fixed, diagnose, find the problems, right? Here's our model. It's very simple. We help people by helping people. It's diagnosis, prescription, treatment, result. You go to doitmarketing.com/apply. That's how to get on our calendars so we can help you. doitmarketing.com/apply. And Teresa, are you already popping that into our little question box, the chat window, so folks can just click and go?
I sure am. Yep, it's both in the
So,
question window and the chat box.
oh
So
my goodness, it's you can't avoid that thing. You can't avoid that thing. So here's what we're doing. Teresa and I have set aside some time to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas, these 5 secrets that we talked about in detail today, to your specific business. The cost of this call is free. The cost of this call is 0 when you go to doitmarketing.com/apply. I will tell you, this is not for everyone. So there are some criteria. This is not for you if building a high fee speaking driven business is not your number 1 priority for the next 3 to 6 months. It's not for you if you don't know what you want to be when you grow up. So no dabblers, no hobbyists, no people who are kind of thinking, maybe, hoping, wishing, guessing that maybe this is something that they want to do. If you refuse to follow a proven process, not for you. If you're not willing to take action on instructions, not for you. Not for you if you refuse to change your low-fee, small potatoes mindset and your low-fee business model, so you have to be coachable. Obviously, any kind of coaching and mentoring program, guess what? You have to be coachable. You're a fake expert. You're just some kind of phony charlatan, and your program or topic doesn't truly help people and companies improve. We are not going to enable that. We're not going to dabble in that. We're not going to play with that. That's toxic craziness that we run the other way. We shut you down. We'll not help you. And finally, it's also not for you if you're down to your last few dollars and you need to pay the rent like this month, because there's no get-rich-quick nonsense. I think the cancer on the speaking and the speaker training industry is get rich quick. You know what this is? This is get rich smart. This is get rich smart. This is not get rich quick. So who does that leave? This is for you when you go to doitmarketing.com/apply. If you're serious, if you're decisive, if you're committed to making your business way more profitable over the next 60 days. And again, I don't care if you're bringing in $3,000 a month or $30,000 a month or $80,000 a month, right? Eagles fly with eagles. We want to make you successful, whatever that next level looks like for you in your world, as long as you're serious, decisive, and committed. Where you start doesn't matter. Where you want to go matters a lot. So this is true whether you're new to speaking or a seasoned pro, and we got some brand new people here. I know we have some seasoned pros on here. Whether you've got your niche and message nailed down or not. So a lot of people say, well, I'm not ready. Well, I don't have my niche. Well, I don't have my message. Well, of course you don't. That's why we're here. That's what we do. So certainly book the call at doitmarketing.com/apply, and let's see if you have it, but you don't realize that you have it, and we need to uncover and clarify it for you. Or if you truly don't have it, let's see if we can get you some steps towards getting it. This is true for you whether you're in it full-time or planning your escape. So you might be doing a long-term consulting project. You might have a day job or a job. One of our most successful clients who's in the program right now is planning his corporate escape, and he is days away. I'm talking about Tom here, Teresa, right?
mm-hmm.
Tom is days away, maybe weeks away. It is so exciting. He is building his well before he's thirsty, and it's just awesome to watch his blooming success. So this is for you whether you've gotten paid speaking gigs or not. This is for you if you're willing to follow a proven process to ramp up your revenue and you take mentorship and direction well. And specifically, you want to put an additional 10 to 20K in your pocket over the next 60 to 90 days and then build a predictable flow of clients and cash like that every single month. We don't mean 10 to 20K once in a while. We mean 10K a month consistent, 20K a month consistent, on top of and above and beyond what you're doing now. So if that sounds like you, let's see if we can help you. Go to doitmarketing.com/apply. Here's why we're doing this. On the call, we're going to help you get total clarity about exactly what you want your business to look like and the exact steps that you should take to achieve your goals. If you want our help, and if we think it's a good fit, we may invite you to work with us, and we may not. Again, guys, eagles fly with eagles, right? So some people qualify, some people get in, some people don't. Either way, my promise to you is it will be the most valuable 45 minutes that you're going to invest in growing your speaking-driven business and help you get results when you go to doitmarketing.com/apply. So we're about to go into Q&A. If you're interested in a rapid breakthrough and you want to get on our calendars, we've got some time for the rest of this week. I think Teresa's having some internet problems. She just texted me here about, are you back with us?
I'm back by phone. I can hear everything. It looks like so far I can message and field some
good.
questions.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, you're on the cell phone, you're on the cups with the string. You know, you're not letting anything stop you, and that's the attitude that our best clients have as well. So if you're tenacious,
right.
if you're unstoppable, and if you're serious, we want to talk to you. Let's open it up for Q&A. Teresa's here. I'm here. We will stay until every last question is answered. While you're going out there to doitmarketing.com/apply, go ahead and book the call. Questionnaire is going to come up. If you want to stay here with us and ask your questions, keep that questionnaire screen up on your computer. You can fill that out when we're done. You can fill but get a slot, right, Teresa? They need to get a slot first.
Yes.
So that they don't miss out on that, and we can take care of the questionnaire stuff later.
That's right.
A lot of people,
and if you need a link, I'm happy to send it.
Questionnaire came up, and am I on the webinar? Am I in the form? Am I in the webinar? Am I in the form? The reason we offer you that questionnaire is simply so that we can hit the ground running when we get on the phone. And we know about you. We know about your business. We've checked out your website. We've looked at your messaging, and we kind of know what you're coming in with. So that can truly be a transformational 45-minute coaching call.
Fantastic.
All right. Whew. Man, I'm excited.
Whew.
Who's got the first question?
Good, David.
Question about any of the teaching content from today or questions about anything else?
Jennifer and Gloria both had a question about the $4,500. They both asked, is that for an hour? Is that just for keynotes? Maybe you can expand a little bit on that because it would seem to be a couple of people brought that up.
I sure can. I am a huge, huge believer in flat fee pricing. So if you're a $7,500 speaker, it's $7,500 for an hour, it's $7,500 for a day, it's $7,500 for 10 minutes. This is sold by weight, not by volume. The worst thing that I see, and Teresa and I kid about this a lot, we used to have clients that used to come in and they had some crazy fee schedule, like up to half hour, $5,000, right? 60 minutes to 90 minutes, $5,750. 90 minutes to 2 hours, $6,500. You know, half day up to 3 hours, $7,250. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, is this like a menu of some kind? Is this like a dance card? Is this like a taximeter? Like, you know, am I putting quarters into your hand as you're talking? No taximeter pricing, guys. No taximeter. X out the taximeter in your life. Because here's what's going to happen, and here's what has happened to me. And Teresa, I'm not sure, we never talked about if this happened to you in your speaking career. You're booked for a full day program. It's $7,500. You're a few weeks out, and they say, yeah, you know, David, I'm talking to the team. We're really busy right now. It's our busy season. I know we're doing $7,500 for the day. Can we do a half day? Can we do like a half day for $3,750? And I was dumb enough to say yes. And then another week goes by. Yeah, man, even a half day off the floor, a half day out of the office, that's going to be tough. Can we do it like 2 hours for like $2,500? Yeah, David, how about 1 hour? Can you like come in for like an hour just for like $1,000? And what I would see, quite literally, is a $7,500 gig, booked, contracted, signed, ready to go, become a $1,000 complete waste of time. Now, I will tell you a guy that I talked to years and years ago, very successful speaker, very nice guy named John Spence. John Spence is a $10,000 speaker. John says, my wife does all of my contracts and all of my pricing, and she's the one that talks money. I said, well, John, that's interesting. Why is that? And he says, well, because I would just cave every time they pulled that trick. I'd be like, oh yeah, $5,000, $2,000, $1,000, $500, whatever. Her, It's 10,000 bucks. You want John for 5 minutes? It's 10 grand. You want John all day? It's 10 grand. You want John for half a day? Because here's the flip side of this. Let's not talk about what we're earning. Let's talk about what the client's getting. When I tell a client, I will do your keynote in the morning, I will facilitate the lunchtime panel, I will do an executive session in the afternoon, and I will moderate the awards ceremony in the evening, because you know what? I'm there all day. I'm there all day. You might as well use all parts of the whale, right? You might as well use everything. I'm not, if I'm in Chicago on Wednesday at 9 a.m., trust me, I'm not going to be in Orlando at 2 o'clock that afternoon, right? That day is gone. That day is sold. That day, I'm with you guys anyway. So you're not buying minutes and hours, you're buying the day. And when they say, oh my God, David, you would throw that in for free? I say, yes, I would. It's included. It's not free, it's included. They say every other speaker that we're talking to, they want to charge $1,500 more for that, $2,500 more for this. And then I immediately start laughing, and I have this very nice little telephone laugh. It sounds like this. Well, maybe that's why I should be your speaker. And I can do that laugh all day long. It's fantastic. So because other people are nickel and diming the prospect, and prospects, as you can imagine, don't want to be nickel and dimed, if you're 4,500, you're 4,500 for an hour, a day, and 10 minutes. And you're 4,500. I'm 4,500 to put on underpants, guys. I'm $4,500 if I have to put pants on that day. I can be leaving my house. I can be going down the block. I can be flying across the country. It's 45. Again, it's not, in my case, it's not 4,500. It's 9,500. But if I were a $4,500 speaker, you enforce that standard and watch how quickly your business starts to transform. And again, perfect example of Susan Robertson, right? Where I showed you those text messages. I nailed it for 7,500. And she'd never gotten 7,500 before. She quoted it, she expected it, she was conditioned to it, and she got it, right? That's the magic formula. And it's like going to the gym. You don't go to the gym once, you go to the gym for the conditioning and the repetition and the reinforcement and the application. So that was a very long answer to a very short question. Who's got the next question?
Dr. William Clay has the next question. He says, how do you determine coaching and consulting fees? So we just got done talking about speaking. What insight do you have about coaching and consulting fees?
So I'm a lot less adamant about that. You do have to know the market, and I'm a big believer in that you need to be in the top 20% of that market. So coaching and consulting, obviously those words can mean anything from 1 hour to a 3-year relationship. Believe me, 1 hour is priced differently than 3 years. And again, you saw an example, Tony Lucero. He says, well, you know, I have this opportunity. They want to talk to me about this, this, and this. And you saw the numbers, right? 35,000, 32,000 and change, whatever it was for the big initial project. And then 90 days of coaching the executives at $10,000 a month. So did that number get pulled out of a hat? Is that the number that you should use? No. It is situational. It is customized. It is tailored. We talk about it in our program. Michelle, do you want? Can you share the Michelle success story, Teresa, that we just had this week about her $15,000 client? Remember that?
I do. So, you know, Michelle walks in and it's funny because she proposed her price. She, you know, 90% of it is just asking for it first, and then really being able to negotiate on the back and show the value and be able to demonstrate that. And she was able to do that by offering a package of sorts, and ended up landing a $15,000 contract when initially proposing just a $4,500 fee to speak for a lunch and learn. But because she was able to have that conversation and position that as an ongoing, much more valuable relationship, she ended up basically creating a long-term consulting contract with them that also then, of course, brought more revenue. So having that conversation and being able to pivot from a one-time, one gig, chasing the gigs, like you mentioned earlier, David, but now we're talking about a relationship that's based in value and continuity of contact. So very exciting. She's she's thrilled. Never in a million years did she think that she was able to do that, but she sharpened her pencil, as she said, and got down to business and was able to demonstrate the value that they'll get for that investment. And they saw it clearly, and they're going forward. So very excited about that.
And that's all about having the game plan and the strategy and the tenacity, which is one of Teresa's favorite words and one of my favorite words. Having the tenacity. And again, the only missing piece to that story, Teresa, is yes, Michelle did go in charging $4,500, but the client went in saying all we have is $1,000. So let's go up the ladder. All we have is $1,000 to quoting and sticking with 4,500 to then, obviously that didn't happen, so she didn't get the $4,500 gig. She then started to ask some deep dive investigative questions, right? What do you need? What kind of problem are you trying to solve? What's going on here? That's when we moved, not from a $1,000 lunch and learn, not from a $4,500 speech, but to a $15,000 longer-term virtual coaching package. And that's how you move up that ladder. That's how you move up that value ladder. Because again, speaker is a skill set. It is not a job description. And we teach this and coach this and mentor this all day long. And folks like Michelle get fantastic results from it. So good. What other questions are coming in? What other questions? You guys are still on with us here. You may have some questions. Teresa and I are here to knock out any question, anytime. What do you got?
That's right. You know, a quiet group. Apparently, you've solved all their questions, David, because we just don't have a lot of questions coming in today.
We've got some people. We were scrolling by earlier. I knew some questions came in earlier, and so let's see. I'm just scrolling back. So if you here's the deal. If you typed in a question earlier and it flew by in the flurry of questions, I apologize for making anyone retype, but I'm going to ask you to retype it. Retype it, pop it in. It'll go to the top of our queue. We can then see it. We can then address it. Any of these secrets, anything about ramping up your reach and revenue as a speaking-driven entrepreneur, we are here to help with that. We're here to answer questions. I see people going in to the application, which is great. And that's still open and available to you. Teresa, how's your calendar looking? Are there some spots left for tomorrow still, or are those all gone?
Oh, I'm excited. I've got one left for tomorrow, one on Friday. Ruth, I look forward to speaking with you, Susan, Roberta, Cindy, Edward, Jody, Portia, all of you. I can't wait to talk with you. We've got one tomorrow, one on Friday, and we just had a couple of questions.
Two slots left this week, and then if we have to kind of cycle into Monday, we can maybe cycle into Monday for a handful of people. So here's the story. I mean, again, full transparency, pulling the curtain back. We really want 2 to 3 rock stars, 2 to 3 Eagles. We don't work with like 50 people, 100 people. This isn't one of those crazy, throw you in some kind of, group with, every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Jane. We're looking for the serious people who want the help, who want the coaching, want the mentoring, want to play a better, faster, higher game. Teresa's business, our business together, it's about quality. It is not about quantity.
That's right.
So, we're talking to a handful of people, maybe 5, 10, 15, but by the time we're done, we're looking for 2. We're looking for 3. We're looking for the right 2 and the right 3 that we can really move the needle on your results. And for those people, we may invite you to work with us. And for the rest of you guys, you're going to have a great call, and you're going to get some great strategies and tactics and tools and ideas. And we may not invite you to work with us. And that's cool. And we're just here to, again, what were the magic words? Offer value, invite engagement. Offer value, invite engagement. So this masterclass today was step 1 of offer value. These application calls, when you go to doitmarketing.com/apply, another source of value. And then we'll simply explore if we can really help you and if we can really fix your situation, get you back on track, rocking and rolling much better and faster and smarter than you could on your own. So when I say eagles fly with eagles, the folks that we work with, they're going to make it anyway. Stone cold truth, guys. I hate to tell you, they're going to make it anyway. When they work with us, when you have the Mike Thompsons and the Tony Luceros and the Bryn Tillmans and the Susan Robertsons and all these fantastic people, you have the Michelles, you have the Gingers, you have the Toms. These are guys that are in our program now. They would have gotten there anyway. And they know this and we know this. With our help, they get there much faster, much quicker, and with a lot less detours, a lot less pain, heartache, expense, and costly mistakes. So, we are the shortcut, but we're not, there's no magic bullets, right? There's no magic beans. You have to have the raw material. I was just talking to a client this morning, and Teresa, you'll love this, and we're going to, you and I can have a deeper conversation about this. It's about gold in the gold mine, right? You're chipping away at the gold. You have the ore, you have the stone, right? We're not in the business of turning lead into gold. We cannot, no one can turn lead into gold. This is the big, dirty internet marketing secret. That if you have crap, if you're a schmuck, if you're a loser, if you have a no-value, low-value program, you can't put lipstick on a pig. So we're not turning lead into gold. What we're doing is we're going into the gold mine with the pickaxe and the shovels, and we're chipping away this big chunk of gold ore. And we're polishing, and we're removing, and we're refining, and we're shaping, and we're making gold bars out of the gold ore. So the gold ore, it's dirty, it's ugly, it's dusty, it's crappy. That might be where you are. Or you might be already shaped like a gold bar, but a little bit rusty, a little bit whatever. We're taking the raw material and optimizing it, tuning it, refining it, sharpening it. Not a lot, right? But the 10, 15, 20% shifts that matter. These 5 secrets are not really secrets. We talked about that. But they are the sources of transformational change. Just like taking raw gold ore out of the gold mine and refining it and cleaning it and purifying it until it's 24 karat gold. So that's what we do. Can't turn lead into gold. Sorry. Really sorry. Wish I could. We'd be a lot richer if we could. But if there's gold ore out there and you haven't booked a call yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for, folks? doitmarketing.com/apply. That's where to get the gold bars and the gold ore.
And we have a couple more questions, David, if we've got a little more time to get to them.
I'm here. I got nothing going on today. Right. I'm totally bored. I've got my feet up on the desk. I'm relaxing.
Love it. Well, Ruth says, what tips do you have for connecting at the CEO level? That's that infamous C-suite.
So this is 100% about relevance. 100% about relevance. A lot of people that try and break into the C-suite, you're talking to CFOs or CEOs or CIOs or whatever, but the top people. In the case of the CEO, it's even tougher because it's the top dog. You really haven't refined a CEO level message. So no matter what tactics, no matter what tricks, no matter what templates or emails or phone calls or send a FedEx envelope or, send a shoe and say, just trying to get my foot in the door, whatever crazy stunt you try and pull, it's never going to get through. Like never. It's never going to get through until you've refined the messaging and the relevance and the value proposition where you truly have a CEO level solution to a CEO level problem. A lot of people try and sell the CEOs and they have no idea what they're doing. Now, what you saw today, Dr. Mike Thompson sold one of those sponsorships, not the 225. The 225 was to that was a public sector executive, still a top executive, but not a CEO. The $50,000 one that he's working on that's still in process, that was sold directly to a CEO. It was sold to a CEO of a regional discount retail chain, and he got the meeting, and he leveraged the connection, and he reframed what he was doing as a CEO solution to a CEO problem. Why and how? Because we helped him do that. Tony Lucero, and again, you saw this, they flew him on a private jet. They flew Tony on a private jet to meet with the entire leadership team of this company, of this client company. And they said, okay, we're doing the $32,500 project, and we want you to coach the executive team here for 3 months for $10,000 a month. Because Tony was able to take his message and reframe his CEO solution to a CEO problem. So, is it magic? Is it, are some people lucky and they're blessed with like the CEO fairy dust? No, it's work, and it's all about relevance and shaping the message so that only the CEO can have that conversation with you. Because trust me, once you're selling to the C-suite, if someone else can have that conversation, someone else will. That's the definition of a chief executive, right? They delegate, they outsource, they have a team around them that if it's not an optimal use of their time, if it's not their unique talent and unique ability, they don't do it. They've been trained and conditioned to outsource it, delegate it down, find someone on their team to handle it. If they're the only guy or gal that can have this conversation with you, like with Tony, like with Mike, they will. So that's not an easy answer because CEO selling is not an easy process, but can you do it? Have Teresa and I done it? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So book a call.
Right.
Book a call is the short answer.
Right.
Pop over to doitmarketing.com/apply, pick a time, hop into the questionnaire, give us what we need to help you, and then let's see if we can go further on that for your question.
Fantastic. Mr. Russ Reed says, do you suggest discovery contracts instead of proposals? It seems like a good way to get rid of the tire kickers.
Well, so I guess I have a different spin on this. And again, we talk about it in the program. It's called a fee-paid pilot. And a fee-paid pilot, the beauty of that language that I'm giving to you now is, number one, there's a fee. Number two, it's a pilot, just like a television pilot. And with a television pilot, the premise is if you like the pilot, there's more that comes behind it. So you're buying the series. The expectation from a sales mindset, the expectation that when you sell a fee-paid pilot, if they love it, if it resonates, if it makes sense, they will absolutely almost be committed to buy the full program, the rest of the program, the back-end series of whatever that might be. Training, workshops, consulting project, coaching engagement, whatever it is that we're selling. So I like using fee-paid pilot, and a fee-paid pilot has a very, very simple one-page agreement. It's very easy to say yes to, and to your point, it is yet another way. It doesn't only disqualify the tire kickers, and again, Teresa and I spend a lot of time talking about disqualifying what we call tire kickers, goofballs, and broke-ass losers. It's three of our favorite phrases. Tire kickers, goofballs, goobers, and broke-ass losers. I guess that's four. Isn't that 4 terms? It's 4 terms.
I think that was 4.
No tire kickers, no goofballs, no goobers, and no broke-ass losers. By the way, if you're offended by this term broke-ass loser, I got bad news. You might be one. Ouch. Ouch. I used to be offended by that term, bro. I was like, what do you mean broke-ass? There's plenty of good people who are broke. Yeah, there are. But, there's something maybe deeper going on there that, I'm a big believer in our friend Larry Winget, who's got a great book title, You're Broke Because You Want to Be. Not that you want to be broke, but you're basically not willing to do the work that it takes not to be broke. So when I say broke-ass loser, is there some judgment behind that? Well, not really. Should you be personally offended? Well, no, not really. But we tend not to work with broke-ass losers because they're the wrong fit. They're not the Eagles, right? The Eagles is who we work with. The broke-ass losers are rarely, if ever, eagles. Rarely. Am I wrong about that, Teresa?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. How's that for an answer?
That's good. I like that.
You know, it's not wrong. It's the opposite of being right, or it's another way of saying right. Yeah, you know, I think at the end of the day, you've got to be willing to do the work. You're never going to rise above and be an eagle unless you get off the ground. You got to flap your wings and catapult that body into the air and soar, and that takes work. So I agree. We've got one more question here, David, from Mr. K. He says, thanks for the informative presentation. You're welcome, Mr. K. I think confidence plays a major role in speaking success. What do you do to handle this element? So more of a mindset, it sounds like, Mr. K.
Confidence plays a major role. Well, so let me clarify. Confidence plays a major role in speaking success. I think confidence plays a major role in entrepreneurial success. So we do an awful lot of work, even on these breakthrough calls that we're booking right now. When you go to doitmarketing.com/apply, I had to work that in. We'll talk about your mindset on this call. But longer term, if we invite you into the program, I'm going to say 40 to 50% of the conditioning, the strategy, the framework for implementing the action steps that we recommend, 40 to 50% of that is about your mindset. I mean, again, you saw it in what Susan shared. Susan said, I wouldn't have even gone for that. I would have thought that was beyond me. I wouldn't have even, I certainly wouldn't have charged for it. And so I would have never charged $7,500. I would have never charged for this other gig $3,500 and negotiated the list, the testimonials, the full onstage HD video. I wouldn't have even thought I was good enough to present at a conference like that. And as much as I'm excited to share that testimonial and those screenshots and that evidence with you, every time I read that, it breaks my heart really a little bit that someone as fabulous and, I mean, talk about an eagle in hiding. That's what we're dealing with, man. Mike and Tony and all these guys, I'm not sure what to do, and I'm not sure how this works. I'm not sure how to dial this in. Man, they were eagles hiding under the nest. They were eagles hiding under. I said, what do you mean? So now we're looking back on this and we're saying, what in the world were you thinking that you don't think you were good enough to present? You don't think you were good enough to approach that conference, that they would never have, someone like you. They'd be thrilled. They would be super privileged to have someone like you share your expertise on their stage. And the mindset shifts are permanent. Yes, you have to go back and review the tactics and the tools and the templates and the scripts that we give you. But the beauty of this program, and again, I just talked to Mike Thompson that I shared with you guys. He and I just talked on Friday. So whatever that is, 5 days ago. He and I just talked on Friday, and he graduated from the program weeks and weeks ago. I mean, he's been out for 2 months maybe. And he is a different guy. He's a different guy. You can see it in his face. You can hear it in his voice. And he wasn't a newbie. He was a 30-year veteran. 30-year veteran hunting wabbits and totally transformed. Becoming the entrepreneur of your expertise the way that you want, where you're calling the shots, you're in charge, it's your revenue streams, it's your coaching programs, it's your sponsorship deals, it's your consulting packages, it's sold the way you want to sell it, it's sold to the exact right clients in the exact right way, at the exact right fee. You're no longer a victim, you're no longer being played, you're now a player. And you're a proactive thought-leading expert, and you are improving the world one client at a time as the checks are rolling in the door. So when I look at people like Susan, I get goosebumps. When I look at people like Mike and kind of who they are and where they are, because that's the difference. So, I mean, that is totally the difference. It's about who you are. So Mr. K, and I love the Mr. K acronym. It's like Mr. K. It's like I'm Mr. N, and we got T2, we got David Rolex Snoop, we have our nicknames. But I love that And you're absolutely stone cold right that confidence and mindset play a huge role. And because they play a huge role, we work on it relentlessly in our program. We work on it relentlessly. Teresa, anything else to add around the mindset piece? Because it's so big.
I think it drives all and every activity you engage in. You've got to feel confident in the structure, the process, the daily activity. This is not an easy process, like we covered earlier. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. There is daily work that has to be done, revenue-producing activity that is not necessarily a one-to-one engagement. You don't make a call and make a sale. You might make 20 or 30 or 50 calls to make a sale. And at the end of the day, you've got to stay committed. And so the mindset has to be in place, and that perseverance, consistency, and tenacity. I am T2 because I am the tenacity Teresa. So it is all about getting after it and never letting it out of your sight and letting your mindset drive that activity daily. So mindset is everything.
Well, and I just want to also clarify, because we still have a smattering of people here. We still have 44. We finished the content like 45 minutes ago, and we still have like 44 people on here. So if you're not booking a call, I'm not quite sure why you're here, unless you're fascinated by the banter. I want to just clarify something for these 44 people and the folks that might be watching the recording later on. It's not all about calls. Right? So when you say, oh, keep dialing, dialing for dollars. This is not a program about just dumb cold calling. It's about relationship building. It's about MMA. Our definition of money-making activity is contact with buyers. So whether that's email, whether that's LinkedIn, whether that's strategic introductions, whether that's getting referred, whether that is showing up on purpose by accident in the right places, in the right groups, at the right meetings, it's inserting yourself into the conversation that your prospects and clients and executives and associations and corporations are already having about solving the problems that are the top, most strategic, urgent problems. So yes, of course, we use all modes and methods of connecting. We do use the phone. We do use email. We do use LinkedIn. We do use referrals. We do use introductions. We do use events. We do use networking, but strategically, not spray and pray, not, blow your brains out on Twitter, not shoot 100 videos for no good reason, not just, blast out 5,000 postcards like an idiot. We don't do any of that. It is all very high touch, very strategic, high probability, low volume, high probability, intelligent prospecting. That's the definition of MMA, or money-making activity. Because guess what? No contact with the marketplace, no sale. No sale, no checks. We don't like no checks. We are hell-bent on you getting checks in the door. We're literally, Teresa and I, in our coaching calls and our weekly mentoring with our clients, what are you working on to bring checks in it's question number one. What are you working on to bring checks in the door? How can we help? What do you need? You need a script? You need a template? You need a strategy? We need to work through how we're going to get into this market, how we're going to get into this buyer, how we're going to talk about that conference. Great. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's come up with a plan. You're going to implement the plan. Get back to me in 48 hours. And again, the Mike story, the Michelle story, the Susan story, the Tony story. You see the results. These people are not sending out 10,000 postcards. These people are not on the phone all day cold calling like an idiot. What they're doing is they're strategically and selectively putting themselves in contact with the right buyers, with the right message, for the right reason, and they're getting conversations started, and they're getting relationships built. So if I leave you with nothing other than that, please don't buy into any of this other speaker marketing hocus pocus. It's all about LinkedIn. You have to master LinkedIn. No, it's about direct mail. No, it's about, lead magnets on your website. No, it's about text messaging apps. And, I'll sell you. I just literally got an email yesterday from a guy. Hey, David, I spent some time on your website. Looks like you got a great business. I can sell you 165,000 text messaging phone numbers. You tell me what states and what cities you want. I'm like, are you kidding me? But he wasn't. He wasn't kidding. And I'm sure if you're like me, you're getting these pitches and come-ons, new strategy, new platform, the latest and greatest social media thing, the latest and greatest software, the latest and greatest widget. It's all, going to solve all your problems, make all your marketing and sales a piece of cake. There's no cake. There's no cake. There's a gold mine. There's raw gold. There's pickaxes, shovels, power drills, tunnel drillers, right? You can use a spoon in the gold mine, or you can use professional grade mining equipment to find the right veins quickly, pull them out, polish them up, and again, you've seen the financial results that our clients are getting. So don't use the spoon. Don't do the batch and blast 10,000 postcards. Don't do the random cold calling strangers. Don't do that crazy crap that all these other folks are out there pitching and telling you is the be-all, end-all marketing strategy for speakers. There is no be-all, end-all marketing strategy for speakers. There is a game plan. There's a path and a plan for you, for your market, for your topic, for your business model, for your speaking model, for your revenue model that will generate amazing results. Let's, Teresa and you and me, figure it out together on a call when you go to doitmarketing.com/apply. And Teresa, are we into next week yet, or are we already booking into like Monday and Tuesday already?
We are into next week. Yes, I've got one more on Friday. Thursday filled up, and Monday's looking pretty full. Tuesday's got a couple more slots. And yeah, it's looking good. I'm excited. Lots of new calls. Lots of new conversations.
I got to go talk to some people. You got to go talk to some people. We got to go. This has been great. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being on with us. I'm looking forward to our exploratory conversations when you go to doitmarketing.com/apply. And we will talk next time, gang. Teresa, thank you as always. You're awesome.
Thank you. It's a ditto. Feelings mutual. Thanks, everybody.
All right, team. Thanks. Bye-bye.